Hello, beautiful people. It's Trina, your scent gourmand here. Welcome back. Let's dive right in today. We're talking about vintage. So when I think of vintage goods, I think of items from the 70s or earlier. You know you're getting old when you find yourself gasping when others reference the 80s and the 90s as vintage. Nonetheless, when I first got my nose on this little gem, Il Bacio, I had to admit that compared to contemporary fragrances, this one indeed has a more classic, perfumey sort of feel to it. Il Bacio by Borghese is a fruity floral fragrance that came out in 1993. I only got my nose on it a couple of decades later though, thanks to a recommendation from one of my viewers, Khadija. Hey Khadija, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. If you've ever shopped at Costco, you may have come across beauty products bearing the Borghese name. Indeed, the companies have partnered up. Costco sells Borghese products under the Kirkland signature name, including night cream, face cream, eye serum, eyeliner, wrinkle relaxer, and more. All high-quality products at a good price point, I think. I'm pretty sure I bought a mascara from the partnership at one point and recall being impressed. They never sold the fragrance though, and yes, I think Il Bacio is the only fragrance from Borghese. The Borghese family name is synonymous with Italian refinement and royalty. The Roman family influenced architecture, art, culture, and yes, beauty. Princess Marcella Borghese was inspired by her family heritage and Tuscan spa retreats when creating the now solidified beauty brand in 1957. I believe the brand is Italian inspired, however, not actually Italian. Today the brand is backed by science. They have a burn reconstructive surgeon on board, and yes, most of their products are skincare focused. Il Bacio here is, I guess, an outlier, and I don't know who the perfumer is. Now this particular bottle I have in hand here appears to be older, but perhaps not too old, judging by the construction of the nozzle here. I'll put up a picture from the newer bottles for comparison. Yes, I got mine secondhand, and since there are no citrus notes listed, I very much doubt the fragrance has changed if it is old since its bottling. However, the fragrance was reformulated at some point. The notes I'll list for you later refer to the most recent formulation. I find that older formulations tend to be better, so I think I'm lucky here. This one is rich and heady and lasts a fair while on me. I've read that the newer bottles carry a lighter juice that pales in comparison. A familiar story. The fragrance comes in a red box and in just 50 ml sizes, though I think other volumes of the fragrance are probably released from time to time. I saw a massive bottle of this sitting on someone's desk in an interior decor show on YouTube at some point. It might have been Architectural Digest, but more likely it was a more down-to-earth channel. I can't recall. But I do remember the beautiful young woman showcasing the bottle on her dresser, admitting that it was there more for show. She said she didn't hate it, but that the smell wasn't her vibe. Well, much as this is not a terrible perfume, it's not my vibe either, I have to admit. I do rather like the ergonomic bottle design with the red knot as a cap. It looks good on the shelf, I think. My top cap is a little sticky, but that's because I think it's old. The note profile for Il Bacio is very orderly. The florals comprise the top notes, the fruits the heart notes, and the woods the base notes. Here they are. Il Bacio is an old school white floral at the end of the day. It's full of deep, rich, honeyed flowers amped up with lots of fruit. And even though the notes are ordered so logically, this fragrance is complex enough that I find it hard to pull out the individual pieces or parts. I get the whole throwback thing all at once, not in pieces. And above all, it's a rich and heady floral compilation. I definitely get the honeysuckle though, and with effort, I can smell the jasmine and lily of the valley, and the rose, yeah. But the other notes, they're just so well blended. I know there's a lot of fruit in here, but that's because it's so sweet. And also some tartness is coming through here. Yeah, all the fruit's been mashed together into a thick nectar or compote. It's got like a marmalade quality to it, although there's no citrus notes listed. I don't smell any lemon or orange or anything. More of a peachy sort of vibe. It's got some powderiness to it as well. So this one stays linear for the first few hours, but where it really shines, in my opinion, is in the dry down. It becomes warmer, calmer, and more sensual. It's a feminine, robust fragrance that clings tight to clothing. So it's a great fragrance to spray on your cool weather jacket or coat for those days when you might want to leave a lasting impression. The level of fruitiness in this perfume keeps it in everyday territory though. So I wouldn't call this classy or sophisticated, even though it is classic. It's too laid back in a way. Now, the marketing at the time conveyed a short-tempered woman recurringly upset with her man for consistently displaying a lack of punctuality, but repeatedly appeased by a variety of kisses. Il bacio means the kiss or the kissing, after all. I'm not sure how romantic it is to be arguing so much all the time, but the sheer volume and color of the gestures in the video advertisement are indeed delightfully Italiano. Whether the character's romance will last is debatable, but yeah, I guess I'd classify Il Bacio as a romantic fragrance. Even though this is a 90s scent, it rings more 80s to me, minus any civet or other glandular-like undercurrents. This is assertively feminine, very linear and dense, and it transports me back to a time where all my blouses, tops, and blazers had shoulder pads, or at the very least, poofs. Overall, I'd say that if you like more complex traditional compositions that lean rich but are priced affordably, this might be up your alley. If you like Giorgio Beverly Hills or Alfred Sung Sung, for example, both of which I've reviewed on this channel, I'd recommend giving this one a sniff if you haven't yet. If you want the original smell, however, I'd consider searching for an older or vintage bottle. The only problem with that is that, you do risk the chance of buying something that smells off. It has happened to me. Fortunately, not with this one. But if you buy a new one, you can get a 50 ml bottle selling for $58 US on Borghese.com. You might find the newer ones cheaper elsewhere as well, though. In fact, I'm sure you can. If you're more of a minimalist fragrance lover or you prefer contemporary fare, however, this is not likely going to impress you. You might find it too heavy, fruity, cloying, or simply dated. As for myself, I genuinely appreciate it, and I've worn it on a few occasions, but ultimately, as I've said, it's not for me. The structure is too traditional for my personal tastes. I may even just declutter this one, to be honest. However, had I worn this fragrance back in the day, I suspect I might feel a lot more fondly of it. Fragrances are bottled memories, after all. Okay, my lovelies, I hope you enjoyed my take on this classic style fragrance from Borghese, and I hope you take the time to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. You'll find me next week with another review of something, no doubt. Smell you later. Scent Gourmand signing out. Bye-bye.